if you get to a point in life where you have to have care, then where would you like for that to happen? Now, the most common answer from people, what we most often hear, is that they want to receive that care at home.
Right.
And if there is a way to make that happen financially, then we want to be sure that you can honor their request in that process. But you've got to find out what their desire is.
And there's a sliding scale to this. It's not
Yes.
that you're doing great and then one day you go into a nursing home. It's often that there are certain tasks that are either difficult or impossible for you to do any longer. I actually have a client who's in retirement that chose to move into an assisted living facility because standing to cook became difficult for her. She's got some health concerns that being in that position, standing at the stove, was something that just was becoming cumbersome for her. And so she sold her house and she moved to an assisted living facility for simply the ability to have social interaction with others and the ability to have meals that were prepped for her so that she didn't have to try to do that daily, so she could enjoy her day.
Yeah, I think about my grandmother. She, by the way, in November will turn 100.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
And about 2 years ago, I think it was almost 2 years ago, yeah, she was living alone, but she was starting to get unstable in those type of situations, and she actually fell and broke her hip. And being alone, you know, she was there a little while before anybody found her, and she was able to get care. So she obviously got the hospital care she needed, and then got the Medicare rehab into the nursing home, and then decided she didn't want to leave. Her hip's all better.
Yeah.
But you know what it was for her? It was the social part of it.
Yeah, and Teresa kind of alluded to that as a benefit for her client. I have a client who is healthy, and she's in her 80s, but you would never know it unless you had documented proof. You would not have a clue. But she left Arkansas to move to the state where her daughter lives, and she moved into a place like that where they're providing meals and everything. So she went from a paid-for house and sold that, and now is paying for, you know, the ability to live there and have all the meals prepared and all of those things. But it works in her cash flow, and it works for her family, and she's close by for her daughter and everything. So it's just really been a good transition, and she loves the social factor that has come into play there. So I think especially for females, because frankly we're the ones who are usually here last, and we're a little bit more social, but I think that is becoming more and more common of a choice. It's not the nursing home, dum. It's, hey, we can play bingo together, and you know, and all kinds of things like that. Yeah,
Many of them provide very robust activities, so that's important. You know, if you, and it's becoming more common to have these places because the baby boomer generation is getting into that age that needs those different help. So there's a lot of options typically in most towns, and they're probably very varied in price from what I've seen. So take some time to research that and come up with what you feel like is the best fit for you.
Want more content like this delivered to your inbox weekly? Visit fastest4.com to learn more.